Black Star Heart.
Black Star Heart, A Martial Warrior's Path. Volume 1. Going against his father's wishes, Leon Brackshaw became part of the Eola's martial warrior sect. A man without ambition, until he meets Henry Eaton, a wealthy lord's son. A new meaning is given to his definition of a martial warrior's heart. Blaring sirens overwhelmed the air with a state of emergency warning across all the human habitants. KAGO 122. Kanto 01. Hawkeye 27. Kusim 345. Four city dome strongholds that had been protecting humankind across Ryota, Old Japan, since the last age of threat known as the Fall, were facing an internal and external threat of monsters, demons, and a parasitic virus simultaneously.
Hurry! Evacuate the uninfected to the quarantine zones.
A heavy armored martial warrior ordered the nearby troops that were stomping frantically through the damaged city. Fighting monster hordes. Trying to save as many civilian lives as possible. This was the advice passed across soldiers and warriors. Their determination to save lives. The mutated old world animals that were now monsters, and their black humanoid evolved king called demons, were mutilating, shredding and devouring human life unfortunate to cross their paths. The stench of blood and human waste excited them like an aphrodisiac. A bloodlust overpowered the ground troops' senses, weakening human forces for monsters to massacre. Screams. Metal scratching surfaces. Explosions. The cities were being leveled with these sounds. Even spirit swordsmen with their magic to throw off monsters, and with their magic-enhanced weapons, they weren't able to stop the invasion. Those wounded by monsters were being eaten inside from the parasite virus released into their bloodstream. Dropping from the skies. Their dead bodies were transformed into human monsters. The soft-armored martial warriors were doing their damnedest to destroy the enemy. Using humming blades to slice through chunks of the monster's armored skin. Eliminating the monster's small fry with magic waves. But no matter how much they eliminated, the enemy kept coming in greater numbers. The demons controlling the monsters were reinforcing them with parasite power to both damage and infect.
Commander Eaton. The monsters have breached the quarantine first level.
A soft cloth uniform foot soldier rushed into the deep-level command room to relay the demise. The room was doing its best to be a place of order, where people were working tirelessly around hollow PC booths that were digital blue hologram screens, showing live footage and data of the city above them. But the faces of the workers held the same expressions of a frustrating loss. Hopeless. So, utterly damned devastating. A battle-worn veteran in a black uniform of rank, wearing the stiff peak cap holding the solar emblem, a flaming sun, of the Eaton family, sighed. Commander Eaton had recently faced the loss of his sons. Now, his martial sect was losing its ground from the brutal invasion. The other martial sects were also on their last legs. In his heart, he knew that unless there was a sudden miracle, humankind was finally facing extinction. His last thoughts were on his family. His precious sons whom he never encouraged enough, adorable grandchildren he was blessed to know, and his beloved wife. As if she had been summoned from his thoughts, his wife dressed in an all-white dress stood behind him. Indeed, a lot of the workers' families had entered the command room. If humans were to die, at least they had the choice to die with their loved ones. "Sir!" A worker cried out to draw Commander Eaton's attention to the large hollow TV screen that covered the entire front wall. The room flashed blood red as the screen erupted with the sight of a white mushroom cloud explosion. It covered the entire sky over the domed cities. Snow fell over the area. The attacking martial warriors who had been fighting beasts in the sky were dropping fast, unconscious. The snow was making people collapse unconscious on the streets. Vehicles stopped moving. Suddenly, the city was suspended in time. A temporary pause in the chaos. Except for 4 demons that were still able to move. 2 martial warriors clad in soft armored bodysuits from head to toe that covered their identities. 1 in black and 1 in white. They flew down from the white cloud on rhombus metal hoverboards, which were fueled with ethereal blue energy from their magic. They brandished dual sai blades, glowing blue titanium katana blades, as they increased speed to reach the ground like a shooting star. The ground quaked, boomed and shook apart in slow motion when the all-black martial warrior landed on a destroyed Kanto 01 city street to face one of the demons.